Hello, people. Hi. So, it's story time. Story time because I'm bored time. Basically, it's been a while since I did a video. So yeah, and hey, I got a subscriber. One subscriber. And I'm guessing that you'll probably be watching. Maybe. So if you're that one subscriber, because the other person is another account of me subscribing to myself. So now I have one real subscriber. I figured out, I'd make a video. So what I'll do is I'd really just try and tell a story, maybe. Yeah, basically tell a story, and I sort of tell a story of when I was living in Russia. And me and some friends took a holiday outside of Russia to Lithuania. And there were some different things that happened along the way. So basically I was living in Moscow, and I was there with I was there working there, a little investment company. I was mainly focused on, selling, so on the telephone, having meetings with people, trying to get clients, all this kind of thing. And did that, 9 till 5, Monday to Friday. Well, 8 till 7, Monday to Friday. 8 till 5, Monday to Friday, whatever. Normal office hours, but a bit longer than normal. And I worked there. I had a friend of mine, Tom, who was a really big guy. I think he was like 6'7". He's 6'7". Pretty big guy. I was much younger then. I mean, I was like 24 back then, 25 possibly. Against what I am now, which is 30 something. Not a massive gap actually, thinking about it, but it was a little bit ago. So anyway, we had a holiday planned, myself and Thomas. But we'd actually planned the holiday with two other guys we knew, two other American guys. And, one was an American guy who didn't work, or he was sort of changing jobs, between banks, I think he was, and another guy who was a place of work, another bank actually. And anyway, we all had the idea to, I can't remember how the idea came about. I think we were just around having a few drinks, and we had the idea just to go away for the weekend, and we chose Lithuania because we lived in Moscow, right? So we decided we could get the train from Moscow, and then go through Belarus, Europe's last dictatorship. I don't know if it was a dictatorship, but whatever. Europe's last strange country. And then, well, the reason why I thought, because Europe's last strange country. Okay, it's just a bit more. I'd like to say Russian, but they've got their own way as well. But I mean, I guess they definitely belong to the Russian sphere than the Western European sphere, that's for sure. But they are independent. They are their own people, and they're less corrupt. But anyway, than Russians. So anyway, we all met on a Friday evening after work, early evening. It was a really hot day, I remember, in Moscow, and we was going over there to one of the train stations, one of the main train stations there. I forget the name, I'm really sorry about that. But it was nice, big old Russian 80s style buildings everywhere, that whole thing, and it was nice, swarms of people. And anyway, I went there, me and Tom went there, and we met our other two friends, and yeah, we we met them and we got on the train, and the journey would begin. So this is the deal. We got on the train at Moscow. The idea was we'd be on a train for, and I can't even remember now. Oh yeah, I think so. Like 12 hours, 14 hours, more or less. I forget. It was an overnighter. So yeah. Now we got on that train, and we had some drinks and some fun, and I believe I was talking to some Russian girl there as well, and who was like in our cabin, and we all had a few drinks that night, a bit too much, but nothing crazy or anything, but enthusiastically drinking, and anyway we sort of went to sleep, and then anyway woke up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, first flight, whatever it was, and and there's this. First of all, there's this beautiful woman. She must have been 22, 23, something like that. Blonde hair, feminine figure, amazing style, breasts and clean, clear skin, and just, I don't know, really nice. And a couple of short, fat, middle-aged men behind her or something like that. And she's like, document, пожалуйста, whatever. And so we showed our documents, which had our Russian visas in there, and that's it. We say we can go in and out of Russia, and of course going to Europe we don't need a fucking visa to go in and out of Europe because we're English and American, so that's how that goes down. And they're like, okay, where's your travel visa? And we're like, what? Travel visa? And in the back of my mind I'm thinking, for fuck's sake, I need something very travel. Because I kind of knew maybe you needed one, maybe you didn't need one, maybe, but you know what, let's just fucking forget about it. Somebody says something, we do what we always do in Russia, pay somebody some money. So she was saying something about something. So I'm like, okay, come on, offering some money. I'm like, oh no, it's not Russia. They actually said, no, it's not Russia. We don't do that here. But it wasn't done in a condescending way or anything like that, because they do see Russians as like their boss, whatever. It was just like a really honest way, look, we know that's normal in Russia, but it's not normal here, but don't you feel bad for it as well, because we understand, it's confusing, Belarus, Russia, the whole thing, and yeah, Russia's our boss as well. Okay, now I'm subtextualizing the context of the event into words, but okay, yeah. So anyway, they said, oh no, you'll have to come off the train, two of us, the four of us, and come to the little station there for processing. So okay, we got off the train, we went into the hut, we figured, okay, fine, once we get in there and we meet the actual boss, some guy sat there, he will be the one to pay, right? Because it's not unusual to be a bit of a show before you actually get down and do the dance with somebody. So anyway, we got off the train with all of our luggage, and we're waiting in this little hut next to the train line, and we're sat in there waiting, and there was some talking and some guards going in and out and this and that, and it was all very pleasant, to be fair, wasn't entirely unpleasant. And all this time, we were just thinking, well, we're just going to pay and we're going to be back on the train, pay and get back on the train, But as time started to wind on and negotiations were sort of slow, and you could almost say they'd ground to a standing stop, or something, whatever. Well, whatever. And yes, alright, I know that you got it the first time round, you need me reminding you of it, okay? I get it. You just need to get over yourself right now, alright? So anyway, we knew that, okay, it's taken a bit of time now because it was 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and we're like, shit. And then 30 minutes we start seeing that train going away and we're like, oh, this is for real, there's nobody we can pay here, there's no anything. So anyway, the guard came and they said, look, okay, you gotta pay a fine, and we're like, great, yeah. And they said, oh, it's only $12, fine. I'm like, great, what, that's it? Yeah. Just pay the $12 fine and then you can leave. And as we're in a place called Good Guy, which was a town at the end of Belarus, on the border of Belarus. It was a border town on the border of Belarus and Lithuania. So he wasn't a million miles away. I mean, we were heading to Vilnius. I mean, we were only like 50 kilometers away from Vilnius at this point because we'd already done like the whole part of the journey. We were just at the last bit, just as we were coming out of Belarus, you know, into Europe, so they're just doing the final sort of visa document. So anyway, they said $12. We said, great, so $12. And we said, okay, we'll pay now. Oh, no, you can't pay us. You know, you need to go into town, and you need to go and pay the fine at the police station. You go to the police station, pay the fine, they'll give you some paper, then you can exit the border. And we're like, oh, okay. And they said, alright, okay, good stuff. And at this point, I guess it was getting to be around 11-ish, half 11-ish or something. So we're like, okay. So we can't leave without this piece of paper. No, you can't. So that's it. So anyway, we had our stuff, and we're like, what now? We're like, what? And yeah, so anyway, we said, okay, let's go to the town. In the meantime of us talking about it, I mean, there's me talking to the border guards, there's my friend who's Russian, was far better than mine, back then, and now as well, I guess. Was having a conversation, and we were all trying to work out. One of my friends, Tom, he was on the phone to American Express concierge, like the concierge couldn't help, just in case you were wondering. So anyway, we started walking. We came out of this train station, and then there was a road, and it was beautiful. It was just beautiful fields and trees, and all very pleasant, but very quiet. And so we proceeded to walk down. And the great thing about Russia is, you can flag down a car and stuff like that. So we was walking down, and we was trying to like flag a car down, because this place we was at wasn't like a normal train station or anything like that. It was just like literally the final border check before we leave, so it wasn't like a proper train station of sorts, just to be clear. People didn't go there to get trains and stuff like that. No. So what happened? So anyway, we started to walk down. We started to try and flag down, and anyway, one guy stopped, and he's like, there's another town down the road, like 3 miles down the road. It wasn't far, in a little village actually. I can drop you there, and then from there you guys can call the taxi and sort yourselves out better. So great, got in the car, got dropped off, and it was like this really strange look. Well, I keep saying strange, it wasn't nothing strange about it. The only strange thing is my use of the word strange, which is the whole of the conversation. Anyway, we went found this little village, and I was in the market area of this village, and I just remembered the girls being so beautiful in Belarus. Oh my fucking god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What am I even doing right here, right now? Anyway, they are, and there were some ducks about. I know, it was wandering around the market as well, all very sort of Eastern European country stuff. Right. Anyway, friends had managed to communicate with a taxi service, and a car was en route to pick us up and take us to said town in order to go to police station. So some car comes and picks us up, and he drops us at the a car comes and picks us up, and as we he dropped us into town at the police station. That was it. That was fairly smooth, as I remember. We get into the police station and we say, okay, look, we forgot to get transit visas. We got on the train. They said we needed transit visas to get out of the country. Blah 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 blah. And they're like, okay, fine. Yeah, you do need to pay a fine. I'm like, okay, fine. And they said, yeah, but not here. You can only pay a fine at the bank. We can't accept any payment. You have to go and pay the $12 at the bank, with the local currency, whatever it was, and then you come back with the receipt, and then obviously you can process. It was like, okay. So, and at this point as well, I mean, it was like getting on as well. It was like 3 o'clock or something. And as far as I recall, it was a bank holiday the next 2 days. So if we had, and the police station was closing at like 5 o'clock, so we had so our window of time was getting closed, because if we missed that window, it means we'd have been staying in Belarus for a few more days, which wouldn't have been a bad thing, probably been a better thing. Anyway, I can always go back. Maybe I should. So anyway, I don't know what I was saying. Yeah, okay, so anyway, we left the police station. That taxi had gone, and then another guy appeared from nowhere who was like, oh, this guy will help you. The police sort of said, oh, this guy can help you out, you know. So he gave us a lift. We get in the car, and it's giving us a lift, like, because we're in town at this point, we're just at one side of it, and we're going to go further in, and we're going to go to this bank to pay this fine. So anyway, actually it wasn't the bank we first needed to go to. The police said we needed to get a photo of ourselves each. So then, okay, I'll try and speed this up a bit. So we went to the car, this guy we found, and said, okay, we need to get a photo. It was like, I know a place. So we drove us to a shop, and in this shop there was a guy with a camera and a printer, and we went in there, took our pictures, paid the money, he printed us out and gave us a picture. It wasn't no photo box, it was like an actual guy in the shop. I remember as well, the shop, it was just like a single story, a big pane of glass at the front, and he had net curtains, I believe, but then it just overlooked, when you looked out a window, it was just miles and miles of field, just on the other side of the road. And I remember thinking it was quite a nice day that day. So anyway, we got the photos. That's what the police asked us for us first, by the way. We need photos. And then we went back to the police station. So we've got our photos here, and here's the passport. And they're like, okay, we need photocopies of the passports. I'm like, yeah, there's a photocopier, like literally right there. No, that's our photocopier. You need to go to the photocopy, bring us a copy. So then we went back out and we said to the guy, I need to do. So we all get in the car and we all drive, and we drive to this block of flats, like an old Soviet style block of apartments and stuff. Went there, that was good. Went went there, and underneath on the basement, I need to be more clear, right? I am telling the story. In the basement was like an internet cafe and gaming centre, so full of kids, teens, tweens, playing around on computer games, hanging out, that kind of shit. Looked pretty nice actually. It looked pretty cool. And anyway, we get our passports photocopied. We get them, jump back in the car, and we're sort of battling against the clock at this point because we know we've got a window that will be cut off. We get back to the police station. Okay, there's a fucking photo there of ourselves. There's a photocopy of our actual documents. Can we get the fuck out, please? And then it was at this point we said, okay, so can we just pay the fine? Sorry if I'm not remembering perfectly. So now we can pay the fine, and they're like, oh, okay. So now you need to pay the fine at the bank. You can't pay the money to us. So we've been back to the police station twice already, and each time they release a bit more information rather than give us everything like straight away because of stupid fucking Eastern European cunts who can't think. I don't give a fuck. I spent a lot of time there. It's how it is with a lot of them. Not with any of them, but just like here as well. A lot of thick cunts. A lot of thick cunts everywhere. That's all it is. So anyway, we went to the bank. Very nice bank, architecturally speaking. It was white, like brown glass. I'd say it was white. It was like white strip pillars going up. You know, almost like a spider, and then the glass, and then the white strips around. Nice. And we went there, and I just remember being in the queue, looking and talking at something while the lads, one of the guys, the more responsible one of the group, at least the more responsible one at that particular time, was paying it or whatever, communicating in Russian or whatever, just paying the shit. And so we then do that, and then we then jump back in, and we drive back to the police station. So this is like the third time now we've walked back into that police station. We're like there. And we're like, okay, is there anything else sort of thing? And they're like, oh no, that's all right. Because bearing in mind, when we'd asked them about the bank, we only had like 20 minutes. Because at that point it was like 4:30, so we only had 20-25 minutes. So all the time we were going to the bank and coming back, it was a stress. Like, will we, get out? But anyway, we managed to get in. We managed to get our document, and then it's just like great. Obviously, there's no chance to get in a train, so we just hopped in that car again from this man who's just been around. I think he was probably just like an FSB guy or local Belarusian like intelligence, like police, type stuff. Just some foreigners around. Oh, let's just sort it out. I mean, he was fine. It was fine, but like, situation needed monitoring from their point of view. So anyway, he drove us back. By the way, the car broke down twice. One thing I didn't tell in my little story, whilst we were going around to these different spots, like the photo place, like the bank, like the gaming place for the photocopy, the car broke down twice, thus delaying us like a lot more time and adding to the whole thing of it. So as we left the police station for the third and final time, and was like, okay, look, let's just drive to the Lithuanian border. It's only like 20 kilometers that way. Let's just go to the Lithuanian border, and we'll get into Europe. And once we're at the other side, we'll sort it out. Then he drove us. The car broke down again as well for the third time. He called someone up, they helped fix it, we helped fix it. By this time, it didn't matter anymore. The car broke down that many times, it was like, it wasn't bothering anyone, it was all fun and games and shits and giggles and stuff like that. Anyway, the guy dropped us off, and the American guys gave a very generous bonus to our guy who'd help drive us around and facilitate us. I think he got a couple of $100. Each from both of the Americans, like $400. Got a big tip. I remember thinking, what? Yeah, that was nice. We got a good tip. So anyway, we got to the Lithuanian border, and then the car stopped, and then we obviously said our goodbyes, and then we began to walk through. And when you look at these borders, like in Europe, or at least in between like Lithuania and Belarus, it's not just like one, you're in one country or the other. But these borders are massive, man. So like, we had to walk down this one road, once we got past this one gate, which must have been like a mile of just road. There was no pavement on either side. So it wasn't designed at all with the sort of somebody might physically be crossing the border by foot, not in a car or a lorry or something like that. But anyway, we walked down the road, and then we got to the first right checkpoint, and then we had to wait around. There was lots and lots of trucks about, all just stopped, dead, engines off. It's like a massive queue, but nobody's got their engines on, sort of thing. Anyway, it took about an hour to get through all the checkpoints and different walking. I mean, it was a very quiet day. It was very pleasant. The whole experience was quite good, really. We were a bit of a peculiarity to the Lithuanian border guards, because everyone comes through in cars and vans and lorries, and there's, then it's just like 4 Western guys just on foot. But knowing what Western guys are like wasn't the most inconceivable thing in the world at the same time as well. I'm guessing, I'm projecting, of course, what I'm guessing. Yeah. But let's face it, it's good. So anyway, we managed to finally get into Lithuania. We managed to flag a guy down again. This guy was a Russian guy, and he drove me and my friends so far into Vilnius, which was down the road, 30 kilometers down the road. He dropped us just from the outskirts, because he was doing another way, but that was good. We jumped out, and we managed to get a taxi. Don't know how we got it, can't remember if we flagged it or we managed to call it. I think we flagged it. I think we called it, actually. And actually I don't remember. I think it was flagged. Anyways, and I think it was a green colour car. It was like a people carrier. Anyway, so we get in it, and we get into Lithuania. We find a hotel. So we're stopping in Vilnius with a nice little boutique hotel called The Apple. Got there, we got ready, and then an hour later we was on a terrace in Lithuania, in the city centre, a nice bar, outside on the terrace, eating a good meal, and drinking some beers. And it was like it was a really good day. I mean, it started early, and obviously finished late. And then obviously we went out all night as well, but that's like a separate conversation. But yeah, no, he was good. Was a nice. It was a nice day. I mean, for all the ups and downs and everything like that, definitely enjoyed it. Definitely a good day for us all, and I think we all carry that memory of our little day with the Belarus Brother guys. I remember the release as we left, because listen, we've been spending a lot of time in Eastern Europe. We were living there in Moscow, right? We weren't tourists or anything. We actually lived in Russia. So for us coming out of Russia or Eastern Europe, Belarus, and then the moment we get into Lithuania, just being surrounded by European buildings, European stuff's mind, relaxedness and no bullshit. Man, honestly, it was just like, a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, like a massive weight. So listen, that was a little story. I know I've probably not told it very well, or at least, I've probably told it okay, but certainly nowhere near as good as perhaps what I could tell it, and certainly nowhere near as good as what other more better stuff is. Okay. But I just thought, it's like one story, like I can share, rather than me just like trying to think of something to fucking talk about. Let's talk about the Mackie experience. Like no, I just figured that I'm just gonna post some bits of different stories I've got from my life. And whatever, I'm not gonna have any rules to this, I'm just over all of that. So anyway, I hope you like it. And if you're that one subscriber, that girl, I forget your name, but if you're that one subscriber girl, give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you, and perhaps even someone else as well, another time. So, see you later guys, bye. So this is the time where I try and put it up. Okay, alright, now really, bye.